Miss Soon, is there seeing now?
Duyên đã nghe được chưa nhỉ? Cô Sarah vừa hỏi là hiện giờ đang có cái thấy không đó. Em trả lời nhé.
Because you said that you had heard that in the seeing there's only seeing. So we have to understand what is now, what is arising at this moment. So is there any seeing now? Is there any seeing of any object that is visible now?
Yes, Achan. Yes, Sarah.
And
Dạ
does
chưa ạ.
does anyone see? Is it you that sees, or I that sees, or something that sees, or is it just a reality, a Dhamma, seeing consciousness that sees?
Dạ theo con học thì nó chỉ là cái tâm thấy, nó thấy đối tượng thị giác thôi à. Nhưng mà riêng con thì con vẫn thấy có con người hiện giờ à.
According to what I've learned, there's only seeing that sees, but to me, still is someone who is seeing.
And who or what is this someone that seems to see? Can this someone be experienced? Can this someone be seen or heard or tasted or touched or only thought about?
Dạ cái con người này thì nó chỉ được biết qua suy nghĩ chứ không được thấy, được nghe.
The person is only thought about.
Thought about. Can we say that that which is just thought about, like, for example, a flying elephant could be thought about, or a car crash could be thought about now, or a tree falling down could be thought about now? Is it what is seen, or is it just an idea?
Dạ nó là ý niệm ạ.
It's just an idea.
Right. So an idea is not a Dhamma, it's not a reality, because it's just what is imagined, what is thought about, what is dreamt about. We know that at night time when dreaming, when we wake up, we know it was just dreams, not real. And it's the same now in the day. There is dreaming all the time about what has just been seen or heard or touched or tasted. But what is thought about, what is dreamt, is not the Dhamma, it's not the reality. So at a moment of seeing, it's just the seeing consciousness which sees. And what is seen is just the light, or we can say the visible object. But the falling tree or the car crash or I or you, these are just ideas. They're not the seeing and they're not what is seen. So we learn there are two kinds of realities, two kinds of dhammas. Those which experience an object, like seeing or hearing or thinking, and those which don't experience anything, like the visible object or the sound or the hardness that is touched now. So there are just different nama dhammas and rupa dhammas arising and falling away. But the falling tree, the table, I, you, come back, these are the ideas. And the seeing consciousness now, does it last? Is it the same as a moment ago, or is it a different seeing now?
Dạ bây giờ là một cái khác rồi ạ.
It's a different one.
Is the object that is seen now, the visible object seen now, is it the same as a moment ago?
Giác ngộ của nhận thức, kinh nghiệm về cái đối tượng.
Is it the same visible object seen or a different one now?
Viên có nghe thấy câu hỏi không Viên nhỉ? Em cứ nghĩ thế nào em trả lời vậy thôi. Hình như là em đang tắt mic. Bây giờ lại tắt rồi.
Thẩm nghiệm tắt á, em không có tắt.
Rồi, thế em nói đi.
Perhaps she's having a connection problem. So anyway, I would just say,
Yes, she can speak now.
okay.
Mời em.
Dạ đối tượng thị giác bây giờ thì không giống lúc trước ạ.
The visible object now is not the same than the one before.
And the sound that is heard now, is the sound heard now the same as a moment ago?
Dạ cũng không ạ.
No, not the same.
So no matter whether we are talking about the nama dhammas like seeing or hearing, or whether we're talking about the rupa dhammas like the visible object or the sound, they arise and fall away instantly. It's never the same sound that's heard, never the same visible object that's seen, never the same hearing from one moment to the next, never the same seeing. So that which falls away instantly, is it worth clinging to? Because it's gone already. It doesn't last. But all day there's clinging to that which has gone already, clinging to the pleasant feeling a moment ago, clinging to the sound heard a moment ago, clinging to different visible objects. So there's clinging all day to that which is already gone. So whatever arises and falls away is not satisfactory. It's dukkha, it's unsatisfactory. And is there any you or I who can make any reality last, or who can control or decide what reality will be experienced at the next moment? Is there a you that can just have pleasant feelings all day and can just see pleasant objects all day?
Dạ không ạ.
No.
Why not?
Tại vì nó chỉ có nó chỉ có một cái khoảnh khắc nó sinh rồi nó diệt ạ. Chứ nó không có cái gì mà kéo dài ạ.
Because everything arises and falls away, nothing lasts.
And each one arises and falls away by different conditions, not by the will or the control or the wishing of a self. Because as we discussed, the self is just an idea, just that which is thought about. And an idea cannot make pleasant objects arise, cannot make pleasant feelings arise. So whatever arises in life is anatta. It doesn't belong to an I. It's not a thing. It's not in anyone's control. So there are just different dhammas, nama dhammas and rupa dhammas, arising, falling away all day, each one dukkha, unsatisfactory, and each one anatta, not in anyone's control. So in the seeing, at the moment of seeing, it's just the seeing which sees what is visible object by conditions, gone instantly. No eye to change it or make it anything different. So the understanding develops to understand life as it is at the moment, just the arising and falling away of different dhammas by conditions. And when there is a little understanding, no eye to be found, no eye to see, no eye to hear, no eye to do anything, there is a little more confidence in the truth that the Buddha taught, little by little. And this is the purpose of discussing and considering and reflecting more about different dhammas at this very moment. Is it a little bit clearer now? Does it make a little more sense now?
Dạ con đã rõ hơn được một chút về không có các pháp là về các pháp là vô thường vô ngã
Is it a little bit clearer for me about why Dhamma are anicca and anatta?
Good. So there has to be a little more considering, because so very, very long, many countless lifetimes, there has been the idea of I as being a reality. But as we found, I is just an idea that is thought about. No I to be found in truth. Perhaps Ajahn would like to add more or ask you more questions. Ajahn?
There is seeing now, is it right? There is seeing right now. Is it true? Is it true? There is seeing.
Đúng ạ.
Yes, Ajahn.
Where are you? Where are you?
Dạ
There-
không có con ạ.
There's
There
no
is-
Dạ cũng chỉ
There's no me, Ajahn.
Okay, there's no you from now on. Is that right? A little more confidence of the truth. Seeing is there right now. No one, because seeing sees. Where are you? At moment of hearing arises to experience sound. It hears sound. Where are you? No I at all. This is the beginning of understanding the truth. But there is something there. Learn to understand. When it is no one at all, what is it? It's real. It's a reality. Before seeing, there's no seeing. And then there's seeing right now. There must be conditions for seeing to arise. Otherwise, when there's no seeing, no nothing at all, what arises? If nothing arises, there cannot be anything appearing at all. That's why there is a reality which sees. There is a reality which hears. There is a reality which is attachment to that which is seen. We learn to understand the truth of each moment, of each different realities. So now, when there is the understanding of no I, that is not enough. Because what is it when it's not I or anyone at all? Is seeing the same as that which is seen? Is seeing the same as that which is seen?
Dạ không ạ.
No, it's not the same, Ajahn.
So what is the difference?
Dạ
See?
cái thấy nó là thực tại kinh nghiệm, mà còn cái được thấy nó không có kinh nghiệm được gì cả à.
The seeing is that which experiences, and that which seen cannot experience anything, Ajahn.
So in truth, at moment of birth, there must be the reality which experiences an object. Because when it is a reality which arises and experiences the object, no matter when, it has to experience the object whenever it's conditioned to arise. Little by little, have confidence of the truth of each truth. So what moment there's no reality which experiences object in life? Is there any moment
Dạ không ạ.
there's no
Không ạ.
reality which experiences an object? Because today there is seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, which can be known. When it's there, just like now, seeing can be understood that it is a reality. It's real, it's conditioned to arise just to see and then gone, one moment at a time, no one there at all. So while one is sleeping, is there a reality which arises and experiences the object? Be true to the
Dạ nếu
truth.
mà ngủ sai thì có tâm hộ.
Learn to be true to the truth.
Yeah, she said that when one is sleeping, there's the Bhavanga Chitta, Ajahn.
So she know a lot about Chitta and Bhavanga Chitta, but it's not just the word. It's the reality which is so very deep and so very subtle. Because even that which is seen can appear when they see, but that which sees does not appear at all. Is it true? Learn to understand the truth, the very subtle truth, little by little, that even is there in life from moment to moment. It's not known. If we don't talk about it, if we don't discuss about the truth of it, to let go wrong understanding and attachment to that which appears as something all the time, because no understanding of the truth, the absolute truth of what is there as it is. So you understand the citta and the cetasika and the rupa. Is that right? It's learned, but it's there
Dạ.
now. To develop the understanding according to what is there, as one has learned before about it. Like citta is not that which is seen, but at moment of seeing, no understanding of citta, no understanding of that which is seen. Is that right? So there is intellectual understanding of the truth about it, but the truth, even at level of intellectual understanding, cannot be changed at all. It has to be firmer and firmer, more confidence, little by little, to go to be closer and closer to the truth. So each moment should be studied. Where is seeing? Again and again, it's time to be reminded to get closer to the nature of seeing. So where is seeing? Is it somewhere or nowhere?
Dạ hiện giờ đang có cái thấy à.
Now there is seeing.
And where is it?
Nó không có xuất hiện tại vì bây giờ chưa có cái trí tuệ để có thể kinh nghiệm được cái thấy ở mức độ trực tiếp ạ.
It doesn't appear because at this moment the intellectual understanding is not enough to directly experience seeing, Ajahn.
Can it be known to understand the seeing when it appears there?
Dạ nó có thể xuất hiện khi mà có cái hiểu tư duy nó thật là chính xác nhưng thật là đầy đủ thì nó sẽ dẫn tới kinh nghiệm trực tiếp thì có thể hiểu được cái thấy ạ.
She said that it appears only when the intellectual understanding is firm enough.
Where is it? Is it at the ear? Is seeing at the ear? Or seeing at the nose?
Dạ không ạ.
Vậy nó ở đâu hả em? Nó không
Nó cái tâm thấy nó khi mà có cái đối tượng thị giác nó in dấu vào nhãn căn thì có cái tâm thấy nó sinh khởi, nó thấy đối tượng thị giác ạ.
So she said that when the object impinges on the ear base, then there is the seeing consciousness. The eye base.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes, the eye base. Then there is the eye consciousness.
Where does it arise? Seeing.
Nó sinh khởi nhãn căn ạ.
Arises at the eye base.
See, can it be realized?
Dạ có, khi mà mức độ hiểu tư duy nó được sâu sắc thì có thể dẫn tới kinh nghiệm trực tiếp ạ.
Yes, when the understanding, intellectual understanding become deeper.
And what reality can realize it? Can realize the truth of seeing. What reality?
Cái tâm sở trí tuệ khi mà nó xuất hiện.
Em nói là tâm sở trí tuệ khi nó xuất hiện á, hay là sao? Câu hỏi
Khi
là
mà
thực tại nào có thể kinh nghiệm được cái thấy?
Dạ đó là trí ạ.
Panya, Ajahn.
Okay, we learn little by little about a reality. Seeing is not panya. That which is seen is not panya. And panya is the understanding of whatever is there as it is, little by little, from hearing, considering, until there is moment of realizing the truth, which is not only right understanding. So we learn a little more the truth of what is there as citta and that which is not citta. The citta and the citasikas one by one, little by little. Otherwise, just thinking about panya. But at moment of understanding, it's real. It's a reality. It's not seeing. It's not that which is seen. But it's moment of understanding. A reality arises and understand the truth with other reality which condition it to arise. For example, attention. If there's no attention to the nature of seeing right now, Can there be any understanding of seeing as it just a reality which experiences an object? See, even hearing about seeing and anything which experiences the object at moment when whatever arises and experience the object, that is not known right now. Everyone knows seeing experiences visible object, thinking about it, understanding the truth, but not moment of understanding the nature of seeing. It's not that which is seen. Can it be learned that it experiences? It is not red or blue, or good smell or bad smell, or bitterness, the taste, and so on. But it's just a reality. No shape, no form, no any material reality arising within it at all. It's just that which has no color, no sound, but just arise and experience the object. If there's no thinking, no considering about seeing, attending to the nature of seeing, which is different from that which is seen, can there be any moment attending to the characteristic which experience the object? And it's not just that reality, because there are so many realities which arise and experience the object by their own way, not the same. That's why learn to understand there is not only citta, there is also realities which arises with citta. So what's the answer? There is not just only citta, and what else can condition understanding to develop on and on and on. That's right, learn to understand what is there right now, little by little. Whenever a citta arises, what is there arising together? To understand whether it's understanding or not the reality which understands. Without such understanding, clearer and clearer, deeper and deeper, there cannot be the realization of the truth of even seeing or that which is seen. So what arises with seeing? See, to understand
có
more.
tâm sản ạ.
Em nói lại, chị Nga
Có
chưa nghe
tâm
được
sản.
gì. Có tâm
Có
các tâm
tâm
sở.
sở. Yeah.
There are citasikas that arise with the seeing, Ajahn.
What are they? Little by little, understanding the truth, to let go the idea of self.
7 tâm sở biến hành.
The 7 universal citasikas.
Okay. Phassa cetasika, the contact cetasika. It performs the function of contacting the object. So citta arises and experiences the object which has contact. One cetasika. So when panya arises, is there phassa cetasika arising together? Otherwise, we just
Dạ
learn.
có.
Okay. And phassa cetasika experience what object? With panya.
Tâm sở xúc nó kinh nghiệm đối tượng cùng với tâm ạ.
The Passachaittasika experiences the same object than the chitta.
And at moment of understanding that which is seen, Panya is there with what?
Dạ, tâm thấy và 7 tâm sở biến hành ạ.
Khoảnh trí tuệ cơ mà. She said.
Dạ, hiểu ạ.
Dạ em nói lại đi.
Chỗ này con chưa hiểu ạ.
She doesn't get the question, Ajahn.
Okay, at moment of seeing, there are other realities arising with seeing. The Cetasikas, not just only one Cetasika. So at moment when Panya, a Cetasika arises, what is there with Panya? Otherwise, there's no understanding, just want to experience the truth. Impossible.
At the moment Panya arises, it arises together with chitta and other chittasikas, Ajahn.
What other Cetasika? To know whether it's Panya or not, why it's not Panya. If we don't talk about it at all, how can there be the letting go little by little that even Panya is conditioned? Or shall we talk about Panya only? What condition Panya to arise? See? Without the condition for Panya to arise, just learn about Panya. The word. So it's just not the word in the book, but it's there at moment of Panya, a moment of seeing, a moment of thinking, in order to let go ignorance, attachment, and wrong understanding. It needs the understanding of what is there, little by little. Not just to talk about, but to learn that they are conditioned reality arising together. We think about panya, wishing to have more panya, but without understanding the other realities which condition panya. How can there be a little more panya? If you don't talk about the Cetasikas arising with Panya, how can there be the letting go that even Panya is conditioned? No one there at all. As now seeing sees no one. So when Panya understands, what condition it to arise to understand? Otherwise, we just talk about Panya. What about Sati? What about Satta? What about other realities arising together with Panya? That's why we learn about the truth, and it depends on whether which one appear to be known by conditions. So what is the use of learning to understand that the truth is now that can be realized? But the way, the Panya, the degree of Panya, so high Panya, which can realize the truth, but it has to develop from moment to moment right now in many different ways to let go ignorance and attachment to seeing right now, to whatever right now, that which is seen right now too. That's why what is real can be studied, can be learned. They are together, performing each one's function.
Dạ thưa A Chan, con chưa hiểu cái chỗ tâm tâm sở trí á. Lúc nãy A Chan hỏi con là khi trí tuệ sinh khởi thì có tâm và các tâm sở rồi sao nữa con không hiểu được ạ.
Sau đó A Chan giảng là nó sinh cùng với cả các tâm sở tịnh hảo đó, như là chánh niệm rồi các tâm sở tịnh hảo đó.
This soon is Panya Anicca. Does Panya arise and fall away like seeing an invisible object?
Dạ trí tuệ nó cũng vô thường ạ, nó cũng sinh và diệt ạ.
Yes, it's also anicca, also arises and falls away.
Is it dukkha?
Dạ phải ạ.
Yes.
Why is it dukkha?
Dạ tại vì nó sinh diệt nhanh, rất là nhanh, cho nên cũng không có gì để bám víu, và mình có muốn bám víu cũng bám không kịp ạ.
Because it arises and passes away very quickly, so nothing to be clung to, and it's too quick to cling to anyway.
And it can't be any kind of refuge because it's gone instantly. So no lasting value because it's already gone. So it's dukkha, as you say. And can anyone make panya arise?
Dạ cũng không ạ. Khi nào đủ duyên thì tự nó sinh khởi, chứ cũng không có con người nào kiểm soát được ạ.
No one can make panya to arise. No one can control it. It arises by conditions.
Why can't you make it arise now?
Dạ tại vì không có con ạ. Và các pháp thì nó sinh diệt theo tiến trình tự nhiên của nó. Nên không có con nên con không thể khiến nó sinh khởi ạ.
Because there's no me. All Dhamma arise by their own conditions.
All are anatta. So you're answering your own questions now that you asked at the beginning. And back to Ajahn's point. So as you said, at a moment of seeing, panya cannot arise because only 7 cetasikas arise with the seeing and experience the visible object. So no chance for panya to arise. But when kusala citas arise, panya can arise. Does panya arise with every kusala citta?
Dạ cái chỗ này con chưa được rõ ạ.
Not clear about this point.
At a moment of kindness or generosity, does panya arise?
Dạ có khi có và cũng có khi không ạ.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Correct. what about sati, awareness? Does it arise at every moment of kindness and generosity?
Dạ có ạ.
Yes.
So some wholesome factors like sati or sada or hiri or ottappa arise with every kusala chitta, but panya doesn't arise with all kusala chittas. So even now when listening to Dhamma, there may be kusala moments, moments of kindness, helping one's friends, but it depends on conditions whether panya arises. And when we talk about the wholesome factors, we talk about the sobhana cetasikas, because the panya and other beautiful cetasikas not only arise with kusala chittas, but they can arise with vipaka chittas too. For example, the bhavanga chittas, they are vipaka chittas, but sati is there arising with those bhavanga chittas in this human realm. So this is why they are called sobhana factors rather than just kusala factors. And for the arahat, no more kusala chittas, but there are kiriya chittas accompanied by the sobhana cetasikas. So a little more, we study to be a little bit more precise. So Ajahn was just asking you about panya when it arises. So this is what we're just discussing now. So you know the details, you've read the text, but what about now? Is the panya now? Is the seeing now? Is it my seeing? Is it my panya? Or are they just dhammas that arise if there are conditions and fall away instantly? So the study has to be about this moment to really understand a little bit more about seeing, what is seen, kindness, panya, all these different dhammas we're talking about, because they're not in the book. They are arising and falling away right now. So gradually there's a little letting go of the idea of I and my experience, my seeing, my hearing, and so on. So I hope these comments have made the answers to your original questions a little clearer. So there's a little more confidence that what the Buddha taught is correct, not just believing it because we've heard that all dhammas are anicca, dukkha, and anatta, but understanding a little more what it means when we say that seeing right now is impermanent, unsatisfactory, not anyone who is there to experience it or to experience what is seen.
Dạ con xin cảm ơn A Chan, cảm ơn ông John và Sarah. Con đã hiểu thêm được một chút rồi ạ. Và đây sẽ làm duyên để con có thể tiếp tục học tiếp ạ. Con sẽ học, con sẽ suy xét thêm và sẽ tìm hiểu thêm về những cái tâm sở trí như lúc nãy A Chan có nhắc nhở ạ. Con xin rất là tri ân các bậc thầy ạ.
Thank you, Achan. Thank you, John and Sarah. I have a little more understanding, and I will keep on studying on the Chitasikas and Panya, as you talked about earlier. I'm sending you gratitude.
Cảm ơn to you too.
Dạ. Không biết là đạo hữu nào có muốn đặt câu hỏi không ạ? Anh Giao biết là có ý định tham gia không hay là anh chỉ
Hôm nay nghe thôi, cảm ơn
anh
cô.
nghe thôi đúng không ạ? Chị Xuân Lan có ý định gì không ạ?
Nếu mà được hỏi thì cho chị xin hỏi lại cái phần về duyên hệ.
Dạ vâng, mời chị. Dạ.
Dạ. Kính thưa cha anh, kính thưa ông John và cô Sarah, con xin được tiếp tục cái chủ đề về duyên hệ. Thì con thấy là cái đặc duyên nó cũng là một cái loại mà cũng sanh và diệt. Khi mà duyên sanh thì là pháp sanh, khi mà duyên diệt thì pháp diệt. Như vậy thì duyên có thể được coi là một pháp, và nó có thể được coi là một danh pháp hay không ạ? Và nó có tính chất là vô thường, khổ và vô ngã như là một danh pháp hay không ạ? Dạ.
So Miss Xuân Lan said that she would like to continue the topic of Pachaya we had last week. So as we know, Pachaya, when Pachaya arises, then Dhamma arises, and when Pachaya are not there, then Dhamma are not there. So her question is Pachaya a Dhamma, and does it arise and does it arise and fall away? Is it a Dhamma?
The answer is yes. For example, last week, one of the examples we were talking about was Anantara Pachya, Samanantara Pachya, Aramanupanisya Pachya, and we discussed how in each case the Pachya and the Pachupana are the same, but different aspects are stressed. So seeing now is Pachya for the citta that follows it, the Sampatichana citta. In this case, the Sampatichana citta is the Pacchyopana, the conditioned citta that follows immediately after seeing consciousness. So the seeing consciousness conditions the citta that follows by Anantara Pachya, by Samanantara Pachya, and by Aramanupanisya Pachya, stressing why it's a special, strong condition for the next citta that follows. Like at birth, the Patisandhi citta is a strong condition for the Bhavanga citta that follows. So in each case, we're talking about different dhammas, different realities. The Pachya is the seeing consciousness, or the Patisandhi citta. The Pachyupana is the citta that follows the Sampatichana citta, or in the case of Patisandhi citta, the Bhavanga citta that follows it. So we cannot talk about Pachya without talking about the Dhamma. We can't talk about Pachyupana without talking about the Dhamma, just as we can't talk about Nama without talking about a reality. We can't talk about Rupa without talking about a reality. In the case of Aramana Pachya, as we have discussed, Aramana is the object. So in the case of visible object, it conditions the seeing consciousness as Aramana Pachya. It is the object that is experienced. So the Aramana in this case is a reality, the visible object, and the seeing conscious is also a Dhamma, a reality, the Pachyupana. But in the case of thinking about a self, as we said, the self is an idea. So in this case, the Aramana is not a reality. It's just an idea. It's just the object of thinking. So the Aramana can be a reality or a concept. But for most conditions that we're talking about, the Pachya is a Dhamma and the Pachyupana is a Dhamma. When we talk about the accumulation of attachment or the accumulation of understanding, the understanding or the attachment is a paccaya, and by pakatu upanisya paccaya, by the accumulation of the habit, the paccayupana, that which is conditioned, is more attachment in the first case or more understanding in the second case. This is why we discuss the Dhamma, because it's a way that the understanding accumulates and becomes a habit instead of the usual habit of more ignorance or more attachment. So usually both the paccaya and the paccayupana are referring to different dhammas.
Can I just add that I agree with everything that Sarah has just said, but the text also refer to the kind of condition that applies between the two dhammas, the paccaya and the paccayupana. And this condition varies with each set of conditions. There's a name for it, sati, S-A-T-T-I, sati. And it is the conditioning force itself that pertains between the paccaya and the paccayupana. And if that is what you're asking about, then the conditioning force is not, it's real, but it's not a conditioned Dhamma. So it's real in that it has effect, certainly, but it is not a conditioned Dhamma because it doesn't have a characteristic to be directly known. Thank you.
But I think it's the fourth of the Dhamma, conditioning the Dhamma that is conditioned. So it's just a subtle,
That's
subtle
correct,
aspect.
but the same Dhamma can be a conditioning factor in different ways. So those different ways are each different, and I think can be discerned, can be known by developed understanding, but they are not among the conditioned Dhammas that the Buddha mentions, have to be known, fully understood. So perhaps, do you have can you clarify whether that was what you're asking about or perhaps something else?
Dạ. Dạ con muốn hỏi là con muốn hỏi là khi mà chúng ta định nghĩa là một pháp, tức là một pháp có thật, thì nó sanh và diệt. Nhưng mà con thấy là cái đặc tính của duyên nó cũng là có tính sanh và diệt. Thì như vậy thì con thắc mắc, con biết là không phải, nhưng con không biết cách nào để mà giải thích là duyên đó không phải là một danh pháp. Tại vì nó cũng có cái đặc tính là sanh và diệt. Và khi chúng ta định nghĩa cái bản chất của pháp là vô thường, khổ, vô ngã, thì nó cũng là do cái đặc tính sanh và diệt của pháp. Thì con muốn đặt ra câu hỏi đó để mà được giải thích, là để cho con hiểu được là giữa cái duyên và cái danh pháp nó khác nhau như thế nào thôi, chứ con hiểu là nó không đúng. Dạ.
Em muốn làm rõ câu hỏi của chị hơn, bởi vì tức là trong chúng ta biết là khi mà nói về duyên hệ, ví dụ như là cảnh duyên thì có nghĩa là cảnh là pháp làm duyên cho các tâm và tâm sở kinh nghiệm nó, đúng không ạ? Thì trường hợp này gọi là cái duyên ở đây, thì như vừa nãy cô Sarah giải thích thì như vậy là cảnh chính là năng duyên, còn tâm và tâm sở là sở duyên. Thế nhưng mà câu hỏi của chị là về về năng duyên và sở duyên, hay là câu hỏi của chị về cái từ là pháp này làm duyên cho pháp kia, thì cái từ duyên đó có phải là một pháp, một thực tại hay không, thì anh chị có thể làm rõ được không ạ?
Vì mình thấy là duyên, khi mà duyên sanh đó thì là pháp nó sanh, duyên khởi thì pháp nó sanh khởi, còn nếu như mà pháp duyên diệt thì là pháp diệt. Như vậy thì duyên và pháp nó cũng cùng sanh và diệt như nhau. Vậy thì giữa duyên nó có được coi là uẩn và nó có được coi là pháp hay không? Đó là như vậy.
Vâng, thì em nghĩ rằng cái điều đó đã được câu trả lời của cô Sarah trả lời rồi. Nhưng có thể là
Có thể
em
thì
sẽ, nó xuất phát từ cái câu của ngài Asachi trả lời cho ngài Xá Lợi Phất, đúng không ạ? She said that her question comes from, what Venerable Asachi answers to Sariputta when they met. And Venerable Asachi said that when Pachaya arises, then Dhamma arises. When Pachaya fall away, Dhamma fall away. I think that's where her question comes from.
So what he was referring to is when seeing is conditioned to arise, for example, it arises, but when there is no more the condition for seeing, seeing is gone instantly. When there is a condition for visible object to arise, it arises, but it's impermanent. So when no more condition for visible object to be there, it's gone instantly. So whatever arises by conditions falls away instantly. Only Nibbana doesn't fall away, but all other realities fall away instantly because they arise by conditions. And the condition is just for the arising at that moment and then gone. For rupas to last 17 times as long as chitas, but so very briefly, also falling away immediately.
And I think the words of Venerable Asaji, just speaking from memory, were in quite general terms, like with this as condition, that arises. And when that condition no longer arises, then the conditioned factor doesn't arise, something like that. So he wasn't referring to a specific kind of conditioning arrangement, but just in general terms, that everything occurs by conditions. That was the gist of his what he said. But the things he was referring to, that the conditioning factors and the conditioned factors were conditioned dhammas, as Sarah has explained.
When visible object impinges on eye sense, these are both conditions for seeing to arise. But when the visible object no longer impinges on the eye sense, seeing has fallen away instantly. And those visible objects and eye sense dhammas also fall away instantly.
So yes, your question is, was he referring to conditioned dhammas? And the answer is yes, he was. He was explaining how the fact that there are only conditioned dhammas.
Dạ, con xin có câu hỏi khác nữa. Xin cô Sarah và chú John có thể nói giảng cho chúng con về vật thực duyên ạ. Con muốn biết là vật thực duyên nó có ý nghĩa như thế nào.
So she'd like to continue with the question on Ahara Pachaya. but perhaps Ajahn might have something to add to her previous question as well.
Citta, conditioned cetasikas which arise together, and cetasikas, conditioned citta, and the other cetasika which arise together. So citta falls away, and cetasika falls away too. Just a little word of truth, which there are more and much more than just few words, but each word is so true. Citta, conditioned cetasika, which arises with it, and cetasikas, conditioned citta and other cetasika, which arise with it. So as soon as citta falls away, the cetasika falls away too. Or cetasika falls away, citta falls away too. Just by way of one paccaya. See? That's why we learn about the truth little by little. They are different. So the way of being paccaya has to be different too, depending on the truth, the absolute truth of each reality. That's why there cannot be just one paccaya only. The understanding of truth, gradually letting go little by little, the understanding of what is there as it is, one by one, until it's so firm and right understanding develop sharper and keener to realize the truth stage by stage. But there cannot be just only few words about few realities that can realize the truth. There must be more, like paccaya, ahara paccaya. See? When we talk about seeing, is there ahara paccaya? And what is ahara paccaya for seeing? And cetasikas to arise? See, passa cetasika, condition citta to experience the object that it has contacted only. By way of ahara, it brings along so many, many moments from then on, from moment to moment. If this is not enough yet, there can be condition to consider it, think about it a little more at any time by conditions. Not just only at moment of hearing about it, but it can be conditioned for consider it later, a little more on and on, all around, until it's firm about no one there at all, because of understanding the truth of each reality clearer and clearer, little by little only. That there is prasa, each moment of experience is the object. So it's the condition for whatever arises with it to experience that object. Without passa as ahara, no situation, no thought about anything, no experience, no seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching of what is there right now. Each moment is there. So it's ahara nutrition for anything which follows, like the ahara condition, the rupa, and so on. So very little understanding, moment to moment of considering wisely, a little more, wiser and wiser, according to the truth. To be true to the truth, Satya Barami. And they can be further considering about it. Can Passa experience Nibbana? To have firm confidence of the nature of Passa, a reality which is ahara from the very beginning. Like now, So is there ahara now? And begin to understand what is ahara right now. Rasa, each moment.
Thưa Achan, như vậy thì con muốn biết là đoạn thực nó có làm duyên để tạo ra các cái sắc nghiệp không ạ? Như là các cái căn, sáu cái căn đoạn thực nó có làm duyên để tạo ra 6 cái sắc nghiệp đó hay không? Sắc căn. Tự vì con có nghe trong một cái bài pháp đó, thì có nói là đoàn thực thì làm duyên để tạo ra các cái sắc là nghiệp do nghiệp sanh, nhưng mà con không có nghe là các cái sắc mà do nghiệp sanh thì có được làm duyên bởi các cái đoạn thực hay không ạ? Mời em
So
Tâm.
she would like to know whether the physical nutriment can condition the rupa that are conditioned by karma. So like seeing ear base, eye base, eyes base, can they be conditioned by the physical nutriment or not?
So we have to consider different rupas, because any rupa, when it arises, can only be conditioned by either karma, chitta, temperature, or nutriment. And some rupas can be conditioned by more than one. For example, hardness can be, because it arises in every group of rupas, so it can be conditioned by karma or nutriment or chitta or temperature. But eye sense is always conditioned by karma. So we have to consider for each rupa what it can be conditioned by at different rupas that can be conditioned at different moments by more than one condition, but only one at a time.
Maybe that comes from, like one people use different medicines, for the eyes and so on. So maybe the question is whether that can have any effect on the quality of the eye sense, and if it does, then how it works.
Usually we mix up conventional ideas and ideas of remedies with the understanding of dhammas. So, for example, when we feel tired and we think, okay, the physical nutriment helps the eyes, but it's not the actual conditioning of the eye sense that is conditioned by karma.
Thưa cô Sarah, thì gì con thấy khó hiểu ở cái chỗ là các cái sắc mà do nghiệp sanh á, nghiệp á thì nó là một cái thứ vô hình, nó là một cái thứ vô hình nhưng mà nó tạo ra cái sắc nhãn căn hay là sắc nhĩ căn, nó là vật chất. Thì con không có hiểu là nếu như không có dưỡng chất thì làm sao có thể tạo ra được các cái căn đó. Đó là cái ý mà con muốn hỏi. Em Tâm có thể nhờ em Tâm dịch giùm chị.
Because karma is something that we don't see, is invisible. But how can it condition things that are like not tangible, but like rupas, like eye sense, ear sense? So that's her question.
Sorry, how can I missed that last
Yes,
point?
she said that because some karma is something abstract and invisible. So how can something abstract or invisible can condition something like eye sense or ear sense?
So we know it seems invisible, but we know it's the chetana, which is the karma. So the past karma, why is there eye sense and ear sense arising almost from the start of life, not from the start, but body sense rupas from the first moment, from the moment of patisandhi, body sense rupa is arising, conditioned by the same karma that conditioned the patisandhi. And then through life, other rupas like the eye sense and ear sense are conditioned by karma. So I'm just looking at a brief summary here. So the pasada rupas only conditioned by karma, not by nutriment or other ones. The two bhava rupas, the sex rupas, masculinity, femininity, only conditioned from karma. The hadya rupa, the heart base, only conditioned by karma. Jivitindriya, only conditioned by karma. The three vikara rupas, the movability, the lightness, and so on, they can be conditioned by chitta or by temperature or by nutriment. And the two vinyati, the intimation rupas, only conditioned by chitta. Sound can be conditioned by chitta or temperature, but not by nutriment. The paricheda rupa, the space rupa that delimits the other groups, it is conditioned by the same pachya that conditions the rupas that it delimits. And so it's very specific. So we can't just say, oh, because it seems when I use eye drops, it helps my eyes, therefore nutriment must condition eye sense as well. This is not correct.
Eye sense doesn't arise alone, it arises with the other rupas in the kalapas. So
yes,
eye sense is produced by karma, then those kalapas are also conditioned by karma.
By the same karma. When we say eye sense, it's actually referring to that group. It's the eye sense group of rupas, but the eye sense itself, but also the rupas that arise together with it in the kalapa, only conditioned by karma. It's kamaja rupa. But other rupas in that kalapa, for example, hardness, at that moment is only conditioned by karma. But another moment, for example, the hardness that arises with the groups of rupas outside the body, only conditioned by utu, by temperature. And it's now different groups of rupas, like different groups in the rupas within the body, conditioned by nutriment in the body, or by temperature, or by karma, or by chitta, depending. So it's not just, it can't just be our own logical way of thinking. We have to understand or see exactly what was taught by the Buddha, because it's impossible to just work it out on our own, or to say, well, eye sense must be conditioned by more factors because when I eat special food, it helps my eyes. Carrots help one see in the dark, supposedly, but we can't. This is just our own conventional way of thinking. Let's see if Ajahn would like to add any more.
Can chitta condition the eye to arise? 3.
Dạ, no ạ, Ajahn.
Can temperature condition the ear base to arise? Just one kalapa. Just one kalapa. We talk about one kalapa, only one kalapa at a time, whether it's conditioned by kamma or chitta or utu or ahara. But there are so many kalapas. That's why they all mix. But in truth, just one kalapa. It has to be only conditioned by one condition, whether it is kamma or chitta or utu or ahara. Even its hardness or softness, the four primary rupas, and the other arising together is conditioned by only one condition at a time.
Dạ, dạ thưa cô Sarah, con nghĩ ở đây cái sai ấy có lẽ là do chúng ta nghĩ sắc nó là vật chất thế thì nó mới sai à. Còn nếu như chúng ta nghĩ sắc nó là chỉ là những cái tính chất thôi á, thì con nghĩ là nó phù hợp chứ nó không có gì là sai hết. Khi mà nói các cái căn á, thì các cái sắc mà do nghiệp sanh nó chỉ là do nghiệp sanh thôi, thì nó không có liên quan gì đến các cái dưỡng chất hết, thì con nghĩ là nó sẽ hợp lý à. And, tự vì trong cái bình thường ở trong các cái tư liệu các tài liệu học về Pháp người ta vẫn nói sắc là vật chất, nhưng mà con nghĩ nếu mà giải thích sắc là vật chất thì sẽ không thể giải thích được những cái điều mà hồi nãy giờ các vị thầy đã giảng cho chúng con ạ. Thì con nghĩ cái hiểu đúng phải là nói sắc không phải là vật chất, mà sắc nó chỉ là những cái tính chất thôi. Con hiểu như vậy có đúng không ạ?
So I think that the mistake might come from we usually consider rupa to be materiality, but actually they are only different characteristics. So if we consider them as different characteristics, then it makes perfectly sense that they can be produced by karma. But when we refer to it as materiality, then it's harder to understand it that way. So I don't know whether my thinking is correct or not.
What do you mean by materiality? All kinds of rupa, or only some rupa? What is it?
Và khi nói đến vật chất tức là nói đến là những cái có thể có trọng lượng, có hình dạng, có kích thước à. Nhưng mà con nghĩ cái đó nó là cái hiểu thông thường và nó là cái hiểu sai chứ không đúng. Khi mà chúng ta nói sắc nó chỉ là những cái đặc tính thôi, để cho tâm kinh nghiệm thôi, thì lúc đó mới đúng là pháp chân đế. Con hiểu như vậy có đúng không ạ?
When talking about materiality, I'm thinking of things that have weight and shape and form.
Not that rupa dhamma, or what? Chitta, chitasika, rupa. What is materiality?
It sounds like a thing, not a dhamma, the way it is described, something that has shape and form. But rupas are just dhammas. And there cannot be characteristics without dhammas. We cannot say it's a characteristic. It's a dhamma with a characteristic.
Yeah. Thank you Achan, thank you Sarah và John. Con đã hiểu cái chỗ này rồi ạ. Thưa cô Sarah, con có thể hỏi thêm một câu hỏi nữa về duyên ạ. Xin cô Sarah có thể giảng rõ hơn cho chúng con về tương ưng duyên và tương hỗ duyên. Vì hai cái duyên này nó cũng là cái sự hỗ trợ qua lại giữa các cái danh với nhau. Thì nhưng mà con không có phân biệt được là cái nào là tương ưng duyên và cái nào là tương hỗ duyên, nó khác nhau như thế nào ạ? Dạ em Tâm.
I think there are two conditions. I forgot the word in Pali, but one is Sampayutta Pachaya, and another one refers to the Dhamma that support each other's. It's not
Sahajata Pachya.
not Sahajata.
Anamana.
Anyamanya mutually supports.
Right.
Yes. So just one more word on the rupas. So the visible object or the sound or the eye sense, they're minuscule elements, not a thing or a material, something that we're used to thinking of. Tiny, tiny elements. So the eye sense is a tiny element, just conditioned by karma only. So we have to be careful not to mix up with our conventional ideas about material substances or nutriment as food as we think of it and so on, because all these dhammas are just tiny elements. And so just briefly, so different namas, chittas, cetasikas, they condition each other by sampayutta pachya. That means that they arise together, experience the same object, fall away together. And as you said, I just keep this very brief because of time, they also condition each other by anya-manya pachya. That means it's a mutual conditioning that the chitta conditions the cetasikas condition the chitta. So also they condition each other by anya-manya pachya. That is true. And sometimes, as we said last time, for example, by sahajata pachya, the chittas and cetasikas condition each other by sahajata pachya, but sometimes it's not mutual, like when the primary rupas condition other rupas, they condition them by sahajata pachya, but the other rupas don't condition the primary rupas, so it's not by anya-manya pachya. Maybe we can discuss it in a little more detail next time. I'm sure John may have something useful to just say at the end before we get into different topics.
There can be a little more understanding, more and more, when we talk about one reality at a time. Sawadee.
สวัสดีครับท่านอาจารย์
Nachan. Thank you.
you.
See you all next
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you.
You, John
Thank
and
you.
Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you.